Hello. This is going to be a difficult video for me, so please bear with me. For those of you that may not have heard, on the 12th of November this month, this past Tuesday, this is Saturday, I suffered a stroke. I will give you the details of it in a moment, but it happened suddenly, and I was able to get to a facility that could help me quickly enough to save my life. Many people have reached out with well wishes and things like that, and I am eternally grateful to you for that. I will be incurring a huge amount of medical debt from this. And although I would never have asked for help, others in the community have set up a GoFundMe to help me with the costs. First, let me explain why this is such a cost. This hospital is Southeast Medical in Dothan, Alabama, and is considered one of the best in the country for stroke, trauma, and heart attack. In December of 2014, I went in there with no blood flow to the heart for my 5th heart attack. And between the time of me coming in the door till they laid me on the table to perform open heart surgery was 45 minutes. They saved me. That bill was over $130,000, and it completely wiped out any savings, any way for me to be able to pay such a big bill. That was the big one. When I had returned to work, I was working for Walmart. And for those of you that do not know, Walmart is an absolutely horrible place to work for insurance. The insurance, the only one I could afford, because my income was, I think, $13,000 and some change per year. The insurance was, they were pulling $92 out of every paycheck, and you were responsible for the first $8,000. That was your copay, your principal that you have to pay before they start paying anything. So you're making $13,000 a year, and you have to pay $8,000 a year for any kind of medical bill, and it would reset every year. So therefore, you don't have insurance. So I was forced to run the gauntlet without insurance, because at my age, with a pre-established failing heart, that I am simply worn out. My entire life has been high stress, high labor, and I have worked extremely hard, and I am simply worn out. I am not a candidate for a heart transplant or anything like that, and my heart is slowly failing. That will become important in a minute. So there is no insurance that I could get that I could afford to pay for. The premiums would be greater than my entire yearly income. So I have to run the gauntlet without it. I was trying, hoping to make it all the way to get Social Security and get Medicaid and Medicare to have something. I failed. I did not make it. And I am very sorry if I have caused any worry to anyone out there. It was never my intention. But here are the details of what happened on Tuesday. My friend Bear and I had met around lunch to have a cup of coffee and discuss future projects. We had finished up that discussion and had stepped outside, and we should have parted then. But he had a final thought, and we stood there talking for a few more minutes. As he was talking, suddenly I became extremely dizzy. The entire right-hand side of my body suddenly went limp, and I was standing up holding on to the rail with my left hand and had my weight on my left leg, so I'm kind of like balanced by just holding on by my left hand. He saw this, and being a first responder, tried to figure out what was wrong. I couldn't talk. I could open my mouth, but I could not make a sound. I couldn't respond. My entire right side was completely numb for maybe 8 to 10 seconds. And then it stopped feeling numb, but it would work. Okay? I didn't have to look at my hand and guide it. My hand worked. I realized I could not verbally communicate, and I attempted to write. And so I pulled a notebook and pen from my pocket and attempted to write the letters OJ for orange juice. I thought this may be part of my hypoglycemia, that it may have been a severe sugar drop. I wrote down AL. I scribbled that out. I wrote down ZK. I scribbled that out. I could not form I knew what I wanted to say, orange juice. I knew I wanted to write the letters OJ. But I couldn't write the letters. I could make a letter, but it'd be like a random letter. Bear rushed back and grabbed a hold of some orange juice, gave it to me, and got me into his car. I was able to walk. Again, I had no feeling, but it worked. Okay. I was able to get in the car. He called my wife, and it's en route. We swung through, and she was waiting for us. She climbed in. She wrapped around from the back of the seat trying to hold me. Forgive me if I become a little emotional. All I wanted to do was to tell my wife I love her, that I was in no pain, and it was simply my time to die. And I could not. It is a 30 to 35 minute trip to the hospital. Far faster than any ambulance could have done it. And we got there. They took me to triage. This is a super fantastic facility. The lady instantly recognized my problem. I was instantly taken to another room immediately. There, they took my necklaces off at high speed, put me on a thing, and slid me into a CT scanner. They had a doctor on a monitor watching the thing so that he can look at multiples. They have multiple CT scanners. This place is set up for multiple patients. It is a center for stroke, heart attack, and trauma. So you don't have to sit there and wait for a doctor to show up or he's with a patient. He was able to do multiple patients at high speed. He looked at the CT scan, and it clearly showed that I had no blood flow to the left side of my brain. Usually you would see this, of all the veins, this is all he saw. It was nothing. So they very quickly stripped me down, got me in a gown, took me out the door, 2 doors to the left, into a operating room where the surgical team was already there. They laid me down, told me they were going after it, told me to point my chin to the ceiling and breathe deep, and they knocked me out. The doctor was able to go after it and get a hold of it and get the blood clot out. Our best estimates is that from roughly 12:15 to 1:20, I had no blood flow to the brain. I know all of you out there that have some medical knowledge or some education will realize the impossibility of what I just said, that I am here to talk to you and be able to talk because I should have been instantly a vegetable if I survived. Because the brain is a very complex, very delicate, and our ability to do that or anything else is a complex program. And that when you lose blood flow to the brain, even for seconds, it's like putting an ice cube onto a hot griddle. All of that starts to collapse. You lose abilities by the second, and that even if you do get the blood back, it probably will not work right because it's degraded, warped, blurred, something. And it is usually a very, very difficult transition. I have no explanation for how I survived. The surgical team and the doctors were overjoyed. My Dr. Bentley was ready to do cartwheels. He said, "This is why he became a doctor." We were not out of the woods yet. They got me back to the room, and every few minutes they were in running the tests of you look at the eyes, have you talk, have you recite a phrase, repeat after me. Can you do this? Squeeze my fingers, pull me toward you, push me away from you. Can you hold your hands out in the air and close your eyes and they don't do this? Hold your leg up, push your leg down. Checking to see if you're going to lose something else, because you may initially go, "Hey, I made it." But just like a car, that it looks good, you turn the keys, it cranks, everything seems to work. There could be some small thing that is paralyzed, like your kidneys, like one of those small glands you need to live, like your bladder, like you would have to wear a colostomy bag or wear a diaper the rest of your life. You don't know what you lost. That was a very intense 12 hours. And the ladies that were my nurses were absolutely super. Miss Heather, Miss Holly, and Miss Jacqueline. Super positive, always there, checking on you every few minutes, wanting to talk, anything to make you as comfortable as they could. But it's a waiting game at that point to see what you've lost. At 3 a.m. they came and got me, because that was 12 hours after the surgery, and took me back and did another CT scan to see what damage was there. There is permanent damage. How much, we don't know. By all knowledge that we know, I should have never survived. When I felt that jolt standing there before a bear, I should have hit the ground and been paralyzed or gone. How I was able to talk, have my memory, be able to move my body after that length of time, please address all inquiries to God, because it wasn't me. I fought as hard as I can to get back to be me. I can stand up, I can walk. We have been trying desperately to figure out what the damage is, because we clearly see it on the scans. There is damage, it's permanent. But we don't know. I have all the movement. I seem to have all the memory. Apparently, the only obvious sign that we have found is it's changed my voice and my speech pattern. And many close friends have remarked upon that my speech is different. I'm still the redneck from Lower Alabama, but right now everything is new. So I'm not even driving myself out here. My wife is sitting over here waiting on me, because the question is, you don't know what you've lost or forgot. Maybe I don't know what a stop sign is. Will I have emotional outbursts like a 2-year-old, that I'm very calm, but if something did make me mad, will I suddenly be like a 2-year-old throwing a temper tantrum? That is going to be a learning curve. We're going to have to find out step by step. And my wife, the love of my life, she never broke. She stayed with me the whole time. She's a rock. Tomorrow is our 33rd wedding anniversary. And she joked back in the room that that's what she wanted for her anniversary, was me. So, at this time, we're taking it a day by day, minute by minute. They did a second surgery before I left, where they went into my chest and they put a heart monitor in. The best idea, and forgive me if I've already mentioned this, I'm sorry. The best idea we have of what caused this this stroke, is that fluttering on top of the heart made a big blood clot. Like you would churn butter, it made a blood clot. And that blood clot went straight up the carotid and turned me off. So I'm now on even more medication. And I will be having to stay hydrated. I have to exercise to keep that fluttering to a minimum, but with this new monitor in, especially like I had mentioned, my heart, whenever I'm at rest, it gears down too far. Now it will sound an alarm, and it's sending live telemetry back to my doctor 24 hours a day. As long as every night I get within 12 feet of that device, it takes the telemetry that's in here, and it'll do for 4 years by itself, and sends back, with the hope that they can maybe figure out down the line, 2-3 months from now, to possibly put in a pacemaker or something to try to get rid of that flutter. And I have to be on medications to prevent me creating another blood clot. So that's where we're at. To those that I saw at Georgia Bushcraft that I did video and told them that I would post this week, I'm very sorry. I have not had time to post it. I have been kind of occupied. So you will be seeing in the near future several small videos that were taken at Georgia Bushcraft and that were pre my stroke. I believe you'll be able to tell by my voice the ones that I will do afterwards. I am not giving up. I am not surrendering. I have been counted out many times in my life, told I would be crippled, told I would be retarded, told I would never be able to do this, never be able to do that. Somehow, with God's help, I kept going. I'm too stupid to die. That was an attempt at humor. Apparently my funny bone is not that great right now. And apparently my accent is not as pronounced as it was. That may come back over time. I hope so. I do not want to sound like a Yankee redneck. But guys, that's where I am. Down in the description box, I will list, to the best of my ability, the GoFundMe. If you would like to donate to help with medical bills, I would truly appreciate that. Sorry for the aircraft. If you cannot, I fully appreciate it and thank you anyway. But you can still help me if you will like, share this video, and comment. You don't have to say anything, just put a single letter and hit it to comment. It counts toward the algorithm so that the YouTube will share it. The more of my people that hear about it, the better. And YouTube does not share all of you to everyone. And I have 95,000 followers. So I'm going to do my best to hang in here. And I heartfelt thank each and every one of you. Excuse me. For the love, the grace, and the prayers. My wife is very grateful to you for that as well. And I will do my best to take it day by day and get back into doing videos. It will give me something to do. I will not know probably till the end of the month the total cost of this, but 2 surgeries at a world-class facility, yeah, it's going to be big. And if I can take the money that is donated and negotiate a cash payment and pay it with that, I will do it. If that cannot be done, then I will see if I can put it into an account and do an auto debit to make the payment that they want, to try to buy time to sell my house and whatever, to find a way to generate funds. I don't know yet. And to be honest, I don't think I'm in the right mental frame for that battle just yet. I will take that up and I will fight. I'll do my best. Till next time, guys, I'm wishing you safe journeys. Love you.